Hello guys, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me guys? Please unmute. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. Uh,
I ha I
yeah,
have
yeah,
on
go
my
ahead.
screen it said connected to go to training. Is
Okay.
that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, are you able to see my screen? You are able to see my screen?
I'm not seeing your screen. I just have this connected to go to training. That's what I
Yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah. Just go with that. Okay. Once you connected, right, you will able to see my screen.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay, no problem.
Mhm.
Okay. So, so this is what we need to discuss here. Like completely, it's a manual testing, right? So, anyone know what is testing? Anyone know what is testing, guys? What is meaning of testing? What is an idea of what is your idea on testing? Can anyone? What is meaning of exactly? What is meaning exactly of testing? Can anyone tell me what is testing means? What you know or you don't know? Anybody?
I think testing
Go ahead.
is, for example, when my understanding is like when developers, for example, develop like a website, and then you will like test it to see if it's functioning or not. If it's not functioning, then you write a report telling them what's wrong with it, and then they can
Yes.
fix it.
Yes, correct. Mhm. What else you want? Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Good. So, what is testing means? We can say that simply we can say that whether the application or a software is working as per the given requirements or not. So they will provide some requirements, right? Based on that, sorry, based on that, you need to test your application was working as per the given requirement or not. We need to check. Yes, absolutely. What you said is correct. You need to check whether it is working as per the functionality, as per the requirements. That we can call it as what manual testing. Okay. So before we go to the testing, before we need to know what is software. Say we will work a lot of softwares, right? What is software? So software is a collection of what programs where it will take input from the user and it will do some process and finally it will give what output, right? That output we need to check. Okay, we need to check whether you are whether you are getting correct output or not. We need to check. Okay, that's one of the most important. But most of the people are say what is testing means finding the defects. No, it's not finding the defects. Defects can find anyone, not only you. Okay, not only a tester. Okay, defect can find by the developer, the defect can find by the client, the defect can find by the end user. Anyone can find the defect. But don't say testing is for only finding the defects. That is the wrong assumption. Okay, so what is testing means? You can simply say that test any kind of application to check whether the application is working as per the given requirements or not. Understanding, right? Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear, guys?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, what is the difference between manual testing and automation testing? A lot of people are confused. What is automation testing and what is manual testing? So, what is manual testing and what is automation testing? Can anyone, what is manual testing and what is automation testing? So, manual testing means what, and automation testing means what? You want to share anything? Okay. So, this is one of the most important one, guys. What is manual testing? Okay, what is manual testing? So manual testing means what? We are not using any tools or any script. Okay, we are not using what any tools, or we are not using any script. So generally what we are doing, the manual test cases are executed without support from what? Without support from what? Tools and script. That kind of testing we can call it as what? Manual testing. See, now I want to test any application. Now I want to test Amazon application. Okay. So here I'm not using any tools. Manually I'm doing what? I'm clicking what? Amazon, and I'm clicking the enter button. See, I'm doing myself. Okay. I'm not using any tools for this. Okay. Now I'm entering what? Amazon application URL. I'm entering the URL and I'm clicking the enter button. Everything is done by myself. Okay, I'm not using any tools. I'm not using any script. Okay, so these kind of testing, what we can call manual testing. Manual testing means what? I'm not using any tools. Okay, I'm not using any script. Here I'm not using any script. Here I'm not using any tool. Then how I'm testing? By manually. I'm passing the URL here. This is what URL. I'm passing the URL and I'm clicking the enter button and I'm doing the testing, like I'm clicking this button, I'm clicking this link, I'm clicking each and every link, and also I'm checking the functionality of the application. So these kind of testing we can call it as what? Manual testing. Okay. And what about automation testing? Most of the people will ask, what is automation testing? Automation testing means what? So there are a lot of automation tools will be there in the market. Selenium, there are a lot of tools will be available in the market. Okay, but how we will do the automation testing? Okay, they are executed with the support from what? Tools and script. Suppose you want to do automation for any application, what is required here? You need to require some tools, as well as also you need to require some scripting knowledge. You need to require, like Java is required, Python is required, C sharp is required. Suppose you want to write the script in Python, you need to learn the Python. Suppose you want to write the script in Java, you need to learn the Java. Ruby, you want to write the script in Ruby, you need to learn that language. Based on that, you need to write the script. Based on the tools and script, we will execute the application. Such kind of testing we can call it as what? Automation testing. Okay, but don't say automation means Selenium. Selenium is what? One of the tool for the automation. There are multiple tools will be there in the market. Okay, there are number of tools will be there in the market. Okay, so it's very clear, right? So what is the difference between manual testing and automation testing? Suppose you want to do a manual testing, means what you need to do? You need not use any tools or a script. Okay, just you need to launch the URL and you just enter the URL and click the enter button. You can do your manually means without taking any support from the tools and script. But whereas if you want to work in automation, what is required? You require some scripting and some tools. Based on the tools and script, we can execute all our test cases. Such kind of testing we can call it as what? Automation testing. Is it clear, guys? So this is one of the most important one. Okay, before we start to the manual, you need to understand what is manual testing and what is automation testing. Okay, anybody have any questions here? Is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Okay, so this is clear, right? What is the difference between manual and automation? Anybody have any questions here? Okay, can you hear me, right? Okay, so okay, you know, right, what is the difference between manual and automation? Now, what is the drawbacks of manual process? See, what is manual process? Just now we discussed, right? So if you go with manual process, what will happen? It's a time consuming and more employees is required, and it is also what we can say that it is costly. Okay, we can say that it is costly. Guys, can you hear me, right? Can you please confirm? Can you hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, good. So is it clear,
Are
right?
we gonna
So
have
manual.
access to this lesson?
Yeah, today we will discuss what is the basics from the manual testing, what is required to learn the manual testing.
No, I mean, are we gonna have access to this
Sorry, come again. What you are expecting? Sorry, come again.
Are we gonna have access to this? Are we gonna be able to read this lesson?
No, not required. I will explain you, and I will share these documents to you. Okay, you
Oh,
can
good.
after the class you can prepare the notes, or else you can read yourself. Okay, just try to understand the concept. Okay, once you have any questions, please stop at the same moment. Okay, you can stop
Okay.
at the same. Okay, you can ask the questions. Okay, if you have any questions, just stop me. Okay, you can ask the questions. Okay, if you are not understand, just stop me. Okay, so I
Okay.
don't know, right, whether you are understanding or not. So you can stop me at any point. If you are not understand that point, I can repeat one more time. I can explain that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So you understand, right, what is the difference between manual testing and automation testing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So what is the benefits of automation? See, if you are using automation testing means what will happen? It will reduce the time. Yes, if you use the automation means what? It will reduce the time, and it will reduce the human resources, and finally it will save the cost. Okay, so this is what the mainly the difference between automation testing and manual testing. Okay, so what is testing? This question is very very important. In interview they will ask you, so what is testing mean? The tested developed application, any developed application, what you need to do, we need to check whether it is working according to the client requirements or not. So you need to test that application, make sure whether it is working according to the client requirements or not. So here the requirements they will provide you guys. Okay, don't worry about the requirements. Okay, they will provide the requirement. Then what you need to do, you need to test that developed any application, any developed application, you need to check whether it is working according to the client requirements or not. You need to check. Okay, so that we can call it as what? Testing. Okay, so what is the objectives of testing? So ensuring the quality. For what reason we are doing the testing? Quality is one of the most important one. For what reason we are doing the testing? Not finding the defects. Okay, we are doing the testing for what? Quality purpose. So quality is one of the most important one. So that the reason testing is required. Okay, is it clear, right? Ensuring the correctness and robustness, and ensuring the reliability. What is meaning of correctness and robustness? Okay, correctness means critical functionality also we need to check. Okay, robustness means we need to check whether it is working as per the given requirements with all the areas or not, we need to check. Okay, and reliability, one of the most important one. Reliability means what? Whether this application is what, user friendly or not, we need to check. Testing, while you are doing the testing, right, you need to check this application is what, user friendly or not, you need to check. Okay, and this is what objective of testing. For what reason we are doing the testing? To ensure means what? Make sure the quality is getting or not, make sure that is correctness or not, make sure that it is robustness, critical functionality also we need to test, and ensure reliability. What is called reliability? Reliability is nothing but reliability is nothing but make sure this application should user friendly. What is called user friendly? User need to accept your application, so that we can call it as what? User friendly or not, we need to test. Okay, I will explain you, don't worry, how we need to test the reliability and all the things. And finally, what we can say that ensure the product is what? Bug free before shipment and release. So before we are going to the release, okay, we need to check whether the product is, or whether the application is what? Bug free. Okay, now tell me guys, can we do 100% of testing? Is it possible? Can we do 100% of testing? Is it possible? Can we do 100% of testing?
I guess it is possible.
No, we cannot. So yeah, we can, but see, 100% we cannot test because some environmental issues will come. Some we you can follow the wrong instructions at the time. You will miss that scenarios. So 100% testing is not at all possible. So once we release the product in the market, still we hit some issues because we cannot test all the environments, right? We cannot test each and everything, but we will test before we release the product in the market. But we cannot say there is a single bug in this application. We cannot say like that because once it is released in the market, see, still we have a Amazon, lot of issues will be there. Still the Facebook, we have a lot of issues will be there. In Twitter, we have a lot of issues will be there. In Walmart, we have a lot of issues will be there. See, we cannot do 100%. See, you cannot say there is no bug in this application. You cannot say like that. Definitely there are some bugs will be there, no doubt at all. There are few bugs will be there, but what we are doing, we are resolving that bugs and we are giving the quality of the application to the customers. Okay, if you go if you develop any application, you cannot say that it's 100%. One second. So you cannot say that it is 100% testing is completed. Okay, there is, you cannot say there is a no bug in this product. After release also, suppose your development is done and the product is ready, and now we are releasing in the market. After releasing in the market also, we will get some issues that we can call it as what, client issues. Okay, is it clear? We cannot do 100% of testing, it's not at all possible, but we are giving the assurance to the client, hey, don't worry, we already tested your application, we find lot of issues, we already fixed that issues, we already verify that issues, and you can happily launch the product in the market. Then only the client will launch the product in the market. Understanding, right? But we cannot say to the client, hey, you will not get a single bug after the product launch. No, we cannot promise like that because we don't know what kind of issues will come. See, in the real time, what by using of that application, we'll get some issues, will get it, definitely will get some issues, no doubt at all. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
So we cannot give the 100% of assurance. Okay, so we can, no one will cannot test, even no one will cannot test 100% of testing is done. Okay, but we are giving to the client, hey, don't worry, we already tested, we find some defects, we already fixed that one, and you can launch this application happily in the product. So then they will launch the application in the market. Okay, but still after launching the product, they will not get huge issues, they will get one or two issues. That one or two issues, we will rectify that one, again we will release in the product in the market. Okay, but we cannot say a single bug is not there in the product. Okay, we cannot say like that. Okay, it's not possible. Okay, yeah, anybody have any questions so far? Okay, so why testing is done? See, this is one of the most important. Why testing is done? Quality. So one of the most important is what? Quality. Okay, the testing is done to assure means what? Make sure whether you are getting the quality product or not. So this is one of the most important one, guys. Don't say the testing means finding the defects. Okay, it's a wrong answer.
I
Okay,
did. I did.
yeah, okay, you have any question?
No, this is okay.
Okay, so what we can say that the testing is done to assure the quality, make sure that whether you are getting the quality product or not.
Please show
How
your
can you define the
certificate.
quality? Can anyone tell me how can you define the quality? How can you say this is your
Oh,
quality product? So how can you say you are getting a quality product? Can anyone? How can you say you are getting a quality product? So suppose you are saying that I'm getting a quality product. How can you say you are getting a quality product? So what we can say that, see, you have the requirement 1, requirement 2, requirement 3, requirement 4, and requirement 5. Suppose you tested all the requirements, you test requirement 1, you test requirement 2, you test and requirement 3 also you test, and requirement 4 also you test, requirement 5 you also you test. No doubt you will get quality product. No doubt at all.
Is it the
Suppose,
one that he doing the blah blah thing that showing? Yeah, I seen it, but I just not hearing it.
It's not. It's an example he giving. It said, I guess is how uh I think the product to get a quality. I think that these are the steps that can be involved to get a quality product, right?
yes. So I'm giving the example how you will get a quality product. So see, in the real time, the requirements they will provide you.
Well,
Okay,
I'm talking, but what I would do now, I brace the hand thing, you're not even hearing me. They say red thing, they say red thing, I did. I see what he doing with the blah blah thing, but I'm not hearing him.
Oh, how you not mute yourself
That
because if
because
you
your phone on, that why I hearing him.
oh
sorry, can you speak in English so I can help out on you?
Okay.
she says you raise her hand up, but
Okay.
I don't know whether you pay attention to it as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Tell me, you have any questions? Let me know. You have any questions?
No.
You don't have any questions? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's closed for me.
Okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear him now.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have to mute yourself.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
hearing him.
okay. So, see, the testing is done for what? To assure the quality. Quality is one of the most important one for the reason why we are doing the testing for the quality purpose, right? So, how can you define the quality? How can you say you are getting the quality product? Okay. So, how can you do? You can say you are getting a quality product. They will provide some requirements. Okay. They will provide some requirement one, requirement two, requirement three, and requirement four, and requirement five. Okay, if you covered all the requirements, okay, you covered all the requirements, you covered requirement 1, you covered requirement 2, you covered requirement 3, you covered requirement 4, and you cover requirement 5. So what you will get, you will get what? A quality product, no doubt at all. You will get what? Quality product. Suppose you miss the requirement 2, you are not understand what is this one, so you miss the requirement 2, so what will happen? You will not get a quality product. So what I'm telling here, how can you define the quality? How can you define the quality? The quality is defined the justification of what? All the requirements. What are the requirements they provide, right? You need to fulfill all the requirements. Then only you will get what? Quality product. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. So, a need for software testing. Suppose you want to go for a software testing side. What is required? Always remember, guys, you need to delivering the quality software product or not. Always you need to check whether we are delivering the quality software product or not. We need to check. Okay. And satisfying the user requirements or not, you need to check. Okay. Make sure that whether you are satisfying the user requirements or not, you need to check. Okay. And I told you, right, making the software is what? More reliable. What is called reliable? Reliable means user friendly. You always need to test that application, make sure that it is what? More reliable or not. And also you need to remember one thing, reducing the maintenance cost. Once the product will launch in the market, you will not get too many issues. If you are getting too many issues means the maintenance cost will be increased. Okay, so you need to reduce the maintenance cost. That's one of the most important one. And avoiding the customer dissatisfaction. So once the product will launch the market, the customer feels need to be happy. Otherwise it was getting too many issues, too many bugs, the customer is not able to access the application, then what will happen? The customer dissatisfaction. So you need to avoid that one. Okay, so one of the most important one is what? How you will get quality product. Interview question, how you will get the quality product? To justification of what? All the requirements. What are the requirements they will provide, right? You need to fulfill all the requirements. In that case, definitely you will get a quality product. Okay. So now another point, what is the advantages of testing? Why we need to do the testing? One of the most important one. Why? Is it required? Yes, it is 100% testing is required. Okay. So without testing, we cannot launch any product in the market. Okay. Take any technology, artificial intelligence, anything, any technology. Okay. Cloud technologies. Okay. For any technology, what is required? Testing is required. Even you want to test any artificial intelligence, your testing is required. Even you want to work in cloud technology, Google Cloud, AWS, GCP, these all are what, cloud technologies. In that case also we need to require testing. Without testing, they won't launch any single product in the market. So what is the advantages of testing? What is the advantages of testing? Quality product. Why we are doing the testing? For quality. Why we are doing the testing? Client satisfaction. Client will have more satisfaction. If your product is working fine, the client will happy. And more business, we will get a more business. If client is happy, means what? We can get more business. And finally, what we can say, it's a bug free product. We can say bug free product, but we cannot say it's 100% a bug free product. Okay, you understand, right, the difference between bug free product and 100% bug free product. No one will cannot test 100% of testing is not at all possible. We can say to the client, it's a bug free product. Okay, anybody have any questions
Okay.
here? Is it clear?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, good, excellent. So don't worry, I will give you more examples. Okay.
Mhm.
Testing qualities. So what qualities is required for me to test that application? Okay, so what qualities? No compromise on the quality. See, suppose you find any defect, what you need to do? You need to report immediately. If you compromise on the quality, then you will not get the quality product. Suppose you find any defect, what you need to do? You need to report immediately to the developer. So that is one of the most important one. No compromise on the quality. If you saw any spelling mistake in the application, you need to report. If you saw any silly issues also, you need to report. Okay, so you cannot ignore that issues. What are the issues you observe in the application? You need to report immediately. You need to report immediately to the developers. So no compromise on the quality. If you compromise on the quality, you will not get the quality product. So you always need to remember this point. And what is negative thinking? Okay, there are two things, like testings are two types, like what you can do, positive testing and negative testing. Can anyone tell me what is positive testing and what is negative testing? Anybody have any idea what is positive testing and what is negative testing? What is meaning of positive testing? Positive testing means what and negative testing means what? Anybody have an idea? The phone number. Okay, you need to enter the phone number. The phone number is how many digits? So in India it's a 10 digit number, right? In India it's a 10 digit number, right? So if I give the 10 digit number, okay, so it is what kind of testing? Positive testing. If I give invalid number, if I give what invalid number, I'm not giving a complete 10 digit number, I'm giving what invalid number. So this kind of testing we can call it as what? Negative testing. Okay, so we need to do the both testing, like what is that? Positive testing and negative testing. Okay, so while you're testing that application, you need to check what both things, like positive testing as well as negative testing. Is it clear? See, I will give you one more example. Now, you're testing the login screen. You're testing what? Login screen. So what is positive testing here? What is meaning of positive testing? The positive testing is nothing but you are giving the valid username and valid password. If you click on the login button, it should work. That kind of testing we can call it as what? Positive testing. What is negative testing? I'm testing invalid data. I'm testing with invalid data also. See, I'm giving what? I'm not giving the positive data here. I'm not giving the negative. I'm giving what? Invalid. Okay, I'm not giving valid one. Okay, ABC. Here also I'm giving what? ABC. See, it should not work. In case it is working means that is a bug. See, it should not work. See, what is say that? Incorrect user ID or a password. So while you are doing the testing, you need to do the both things like a positive testing as well as you need to do the negative testing. Is it clear, guys? So this is what you will not do only a positive testing. You need to do what negative testing also. Negative testing means what you need to test with what with the invalid data. You need to test what invalid data. Is it clear? So testing is not only you need to go with the positive testing. What is meaning of positive testing? Giving what valid username, valid password. See, I'm giving what now? I'm giving what both are valid only. Username is valid and password is also valid. Now I'm clicking login button. What will happen? It will take me a respective page. So it is working as expected. So this kind of testing we can call it as what? Positive testing. So what is meaning of positive testing? The positive testing means what? We are providing the valid user ID and valid password, valid credentials. Okay. What is negative testing? I need to check. Suppose I'm giving not null. Both are I'm giving null values. I'm not giving any values there. Okay. I'm giving what null value. I'm giving null value. Now I'm trying to clicking login button. So it should not allow. So this kind of testing we can call it as what? Negative testing. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, good, good. So this is one of the most important one. While you are doing the testing, you need to check both things, positive testing and negative testing. First, what kind of testing you will do, guys? First, you will do negative or a positive? Can anyone answer? First, what kind of testing you will do?
Positive.
Absolutely, excellent. So you always do what? Positive testing first, not negative. Okay. First, you need to go with valid username. Second, what you need to do? You need to go with valid password. Okay. Then, oh, it's
Yeah.
working correctly. Yeah. Then next, what you need to do? It's working. Okay. With the positive data is working. That's not your testing is not completed, right? You need to check with the negative also because sometimes end user might forget is not giving the valid one. Okay. Might he is giving invalid one. In that case, it should not work. It is working means that is a bug. Now I'm giving what both are invalid only. Now it should not allow to log in. If it is allowed to log in means that is a bug. See, incorrect user ID and password. It is not allowed to invalid data. So while you are doing the testing, you need to check both the positive testing as well as you need to test what negative testing. So what test qualities is required? For suppose you want to go for testing, no compromise. You never compromise on the quality. Negative thinking like positive testing, negative testing, you need to check. And analytical skills, you need to think what is what is the expected result, what you are getting. So you cannot go with the blind testing. Okay, you need to think what is the output, what this output is correct or not. You need to test while you are doing the testing. You need to analyze the things whether it is correct or not. Okay, so this is all are very very important and patience is required. See, you will not get immediately output. You need to spend some time. You need require some patience. Patience means what? Immediately you cannot get the result. You need to do a lot of testing. You need to do everything. You need to select that item. You need to add to the cart, and you need to do the payment. Lot of instructions will be there. You need to follow all the instructions. Then only you will get that output. Okay, you will not get immediately. So lot of patience is required. And finally, one thing, guys, if you want to go for a testing site and communication is required, one of the most important is what the communication. So you need to speak, you need to talk because you observe one issue, right? So you need to tell to the team what you observed. You need to communicate in the proper way. If you are not telling in the correct way and you are miscommunicated and all the things means then the developer will not understand where the defect we got. Okay, so communication is one of the most important one. What are the issue you observe? You need to report it to the developer, and also you need to write the mails like returning skills like you need to write the mails and all the things. Okay, that's one of the most important one. You want to become a good tester. What is required? Technical skills is required. Lot of technical skills is required. If you know Linux, then well and good. If you know Python, then it's well and good. If you know more and knowledge, then it's well and good. You need have some technical skills and analytical skills. What is called analytical skills? You need to observe the things, not only go with the things blindly. You need to analyze the things. Okay, you need to think why this defect is got, what happened, you root causes. You need to identify the root cause for the defect. Okay, and passion, you need to love the job. Okay, if you love the job, you can enjoy that job. Okay, so first you need to love the job. Okay, and attitude, body language, the communication is one of the most important one, because sometimes now you are reporting the issue but developer is not accepting. In that case, what you will do? Can anyone answer? Do you understand my question? You are reporting the defect but developer is not accepting. Then in that case, how can you convince that you are getting the defect? How can you convince the developer? You are reporting the issue but developer is not accepting it. So in that case, what you will do? You will ignore that issue.
Maybe you try to show them what you're talking about and maybe do the testing in front of them, maybe.
Yeah, that's correct. You can show, but you can say that, yeah, absolutely, it is correct. What you can say that you can show the screenshot. So I'm telling, but your people are not listening. So I saw that issue, but your people are not listening means what I can do? I can show the screenshot. I can show the log files. I can show that where exactly it is hitting that issue. Yes, that we need to do. You need to take a screenshot. Okay, so see, we cannot.
Can I have a quick question?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Speaking of the technical skills,
Yeah.
you are talking about, do you have to know like a programming language in manual testing? Is it
No, no, no.
something
See,
that
not for a manual, you not required any programming knowledge.
okay,
Zero programming knowledge, you can easily survive.
okay,
Because I will tell you, in manual, we never write any code. We never write any script. I told you,
okay,
right, that I told you what is the difference between manual testing and automation testing. So
right,
manual testing, if you go with manual, you not required any single programming knowledge, not
okay,
required. But
okay,
why I'm telling here the technical terminology is, if you require, suppose you are working in cloud environment, cloud, you know, right? What is the cloud technology? If you work with the cloud, first of all, you need to understand what is cloud, how it will work. Suppose anyhow you are working in Walmart, okay? So how this Walmart will working, how its e-commerce website is working. So that technical skills, at least you need to have some knowledge on that area, how that application, the domain is very very important, right? Domain knowledge is very very important. Now you are working in banking application, so how banking application is works, how it works. So there are a lot of things will be there, a lot of cards will be there, debit card, credit card, corporative card. So these all are not the same functionality, right? There are the different functionality. Credit card has a different functionality, debit card has a different functionality, saving account is completely a different functionality, and corporative account is what a different functionality. So you need have some domain knowledge. What is the domain knowledge? Is nothing but which you are working in that product, you need have some product knowledge is required. So in that case, you need have some technical skills, means what we are using, for what software we are using to develop all the things that you need to know. But for a manual tester, not required any programming knowledge. Okay, is it clear?
yeah. So you were speaking of working in the cloud.
Yeah,
Um, so when
yeah.
you do this manual testing, right? When you're doing it, what if you have a program that requires you working in the cloud, but you just did manual testing? How do you figure that out?
Yeah, yeah, that, yeah. See, they will give you. I told you, right? They will give you the requirements. How you will test that one? We need to test whether it is working according to the client requirements or not. So they will give the requirements. Based on the requirements, you need to test that application. Now you are working in the cloud application, right? So suppose they asked you to create a cloud account. They asked you to create cloud account. So this is what your task. So what you need to do, you do. So they will tell you how to create that account. They will give you step one. Okay, you need to follow the step one. Okay, you need to follow the
Oh,
step
okay.
two. Okay, you need to follow the step three. So here I'm not writing any code here. Just I'm following
Okay.
what this is what requirements. This is what requirement. See, I always follow what requirements. As a testing team, we not write any code. So in the
Mm-hmm.
cloud, I'm testing this. I'm able to create a cloud account or not. I'm able to check by following the document. We always follow the documents, the requirement specification documents. We always follow the requirement specification. That is what I told you, right? As a testing team, we always follow what requirements. How you can say that it is working as expected? How can you say it is working as expected? Suppose requirements, what they're given in the requirements and what you are getting in the output, you both are the same, means you can say that it is working as expected. Actual result is equal to expected result. So you
Okay.
can say that it is working as expected.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So okay, no problem. Okay, good question. So that's one of the most important, guys. So we not required any programming knowledge. Don't worry about the programming. But what I'm trying to say, if you know how cloud works, you're testing some product, means first of all you need to know how that the functionality, right? Without knowing of functionality, how you will test? Understanding, right? So you need to know how it works. What is the technology for that? So first of all, you need to understand. They will give you KT. What is called KT? Anyone know? What is called KT? KT means what? Knowledge transfer. Once you get into the organization, right, they won't give immediately to work on that items, okay, and they won't give the immediately to work on the task. They will provide KT session. What is called KT session? KT session is nothing but what? Knowledge transfer. They will tell you how to test, test, and what steps we need to follow. They will tell you each and everything. They will tell you. But as a tester, you need to check whether it is working as per the given requirements are, and as per the functionality, it is working as expected or not. You need to check. Okay, is it clear? So that's one of the most important one, guys. They will provide
Yes,
the
thank you.
requirement. Yeah, thank you. They will provide the requirement. Based on the requirements, you need to test. Okay. So sometimes the developer is not accepted your defect. Then what you need to do? You cannot ignore that. You can show the screenshot and you need to show the logs. So what are the logs you find? And you need to report all the things. Okay. Then developer definitely accept your defect. Okay. And finally, what we can say that productivity. So productivity means what? Whatever you do the work, you should have the quality work. Always you need to get what? Quality work. Okay, make sure you need to test proper way. Okay, you are spending too much of time but you are not done testing properly, means that you are spending a lot of time but you are not following the process, you're not following the requirements, you're not following the documents, then you will not get the productivity. When you will get the productivity? If you work with the quality of work. Okay, if you follow the proper requirements, if you follow the correct documents, then you will get what? Quality of the product. So productivity is one of the most important one, guys. So you need to check the productivity. So you are doing some work. Okay, what is the productivity on that? Okay, so you are getting a quality of the product or not, you need to check. Okay, not only spending of too much time. Okay, what you need to learn, whether you are getting the quality of work or not, you need to check. Okay, I'm spending 8 hours, I'm spending 12 hours. What is the use of spending of 12 hours or 8 hours? What is the result? Results are very, very important. So while you are doing the testing, you need to check the quality of work. Okay, productivity is one of the most important one. You need to check whether you are getting the quality work or not. You need to check. Okay. So this is all or what for a good tester. You need to learn the technical skills, analytical skills, and passion. Yes, I like this job, and you can enjoy your job, and attitude, and productivity, and written communication. So if you know all the things, you can become a good tester. Okay. Tomorrow what we can do is tomorrow we'll see one of the most important, so far what we know what is testing. The testing is nothing but to check whether the application is working according to the given client requirements or not. They will provide the requirements, we need to test that application. For what purpose we are doing the testing? I told you, right? For what purpose we are doing the testing, guys? Can anyone answer? What for what purpose we are doing the testing? Effects. For what purpose we are doing the testing? Anyone answer for that?
Quality.
Yes, absolutely. Quality. Okay, not for
Um,
different.
for, for quality, for
Yes,
quality product.
yes, quality product. Absolutely correct. Yes, correct. So
Client,
the test.
client
Yeah,
certificate.
you're saying something?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. 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 No issue. So the testing is done for the quality. What is positive testing and what is negative testing? Can anyone answer? What is positive testing and what is negative testing? So positive testing means what?
Testing done
Positive
by
is the good
positive
result,
data.
negative.
Hmm. Yes. Positive testing with what? With good data. Yes, that is correct. Like that. What is negative testing? You need to give the invalid data. In that case, it should not allow. Okay, so that's good. Tomorrow, what we can do is we will see one of the most important one. What are the testing types? Okay, and there are two types. One is structural, and another is what functional. So, what is white box testing and what is black box testing? We'll see tomorrow. Anybody have any questions today's session? You are able to understand anything you want to discuss? You want to go with slow, or you can give the suggestions. Okay, so based on your things, then I can follow.
Yeah.
Is it clear? You are able to understand? Yeah, go ahead. You are saying something.
You were basing. You explain about analytical skill. What does that
Yes.
imply?
See, analytical skills is nothing but see while you are doing the testing, right? You cannot go with the same way, same path. Okay, what is happening in that application? You need to analyze. This is see now I find the defect. Okay, before finding the defect, you find the defect, right? What is the causing the problem? Where it is causing? Okay, you need to analyze that one. You cannot take simply a screenshot and report it to the developer. That's not a good one, right? Everyone can do that job. But you are analyzing the things like why it is hitting, what is the problem, what is the problem in that defect. Okay. If you analyze all the things, that is very, very important as a good tester. You need to think broadly, and you need to get the things in depth. What is the causing the problem? What the problem is causing? So you identify some defect, but you need to know what is causing that problem. So that all will come somewhere in analytical skills. Like you need to have some deep knowledge on that. Understand, right? If you work on the product, then only you will get the thing. Okay, it won't get normally while you are testing the application, right? First of all, you need have some domain knowledge. Domain knowledge means what? Product knowledge. Product knowledge is one of the most important one. Okay, I cannot test the banking application until unless I know what is banking application, how it works. So what functionality we need to test. First of all, you need to know what exactly I need to be tested. Without knowing all the things, you cannot test any application, right? So they will provide you KT. KT is nothing but what? Knowledge transfer session. They will provide all the knowledge transfer session. Based on that, you need to understand the domain first. How Walmart works, how Amazon works, how Flipkart works. So first of all, you need to understand the domain. Domain knowledge is very, very important. You need to analyze the things, okay? So how it works. So once you know that, then your testing part is very, very, very easy. Very, very easy. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Good. Uh, Anybody have any question? I think
So how many days is this class?
see, it's
A week.
almost we go with only weekends. We don't have the class. Max, it will take 20-25 classes. Max 20-25.
So it's what? It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
It starts from Monday to Friday.
Oh, so Monday to Friday. So weekend, no class. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have the class.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Uh,
as we end the day, then that's how you send the notes to us.
Yeah, we will send you the material, video recording. We will send you each and everything. Don't worry about this one. They will provide you material. What we are seeing here right now, what you are seeing in the slide, they will provide a complete material to you. And also they will provide you the video recording. What we done in the video, right? The class session video they will provide you. Okay, you can refer that. If you miss the section also, not a problem. You can just go with the video. That's fine.
Okay.
So you're gonna send it. You're gonna send this one to us tonight.
Yeah, I think yes. Today after the it will take within the day that they will send it. Okay, I'm talking IST. Within the day they will send it.
You're gonna send it to our emails, right?
Yes, yes, yes. They will create account and then they will create email.
Okay. It was a good class.
Okay, then. Anything else to discuss?
Not really.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see. We will discuss about what types of testing tomorrow. We'll see. Very interesting. We'll see tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, good morning. I'm really sorry, my system was restarted, so that's the reason it took me almost 10 minutes. Okay, okay. That's good. So, yeah, yesterday what we discussed. Can anyone tell me what is testing, guys? Can anyone? What is testing? Can anyone tell me the definition of testing? Anybody? Yesterday we discussed, right?
Testing is when a developer develop an application and then they test it to make sure that it's working properly.
Excellent, excellent, good. That's good. Any developed application, right? Make sure that application is working as per the given requirements or not. Yes, that's correct. So, see, what is testing means, don't say finding the defects, okay? That's not a correct answer, okay? You need to always say that what is testing means, you need to say that the testing is done to make sure the application is working as per the given requirements, okay? So that's one of the most important one, okay? Why we are doing the testing? Can anyone tell me why we are doing the testing? For what purpose we are doing the testing?
For product quality.
Absolutely excellent. So why we are doing the testing, guys? For quality purpose. Okay, the quality is very, very important. How you define the quality? How can you say you are getting a quality product? How can you say you are getting a quality product?
It
It's
must be bug free.
a justification of all the requirements of a consumer
Absolutely.
or customer
Absolutely.
application.
Yes, to justification of all the requirements, and also you can say that it's a bug free, right? Yeah, you can say that also. But see, how can you define the quality? How can you say this is the quality product? Means you need to justification of all the requirements. Suppose they ask you to test in all the areas. Okay, you test all the areas. You what you can say that you justification of all the areas, then definitely you will get what a quality product, no doubt at all. Suppose you miss the requirements, okay, you miss the requirement, you are not understand, you make the requirements, in that case you will not get the quality product, right? So how can you define the quality? That's one of the most important one. Okay, for what reason we are doing the testing? Quality purpose, right? How can you define the quality? Means you need to justification of all the requirements. What are the requirements are given them? You need to fulfill all the requirements. Then only you will get what? Quality product. Okay, so this is also one of the most important one. And what is positive testing and what is negative testing? Can anyone? What is positive testing, guys, and what is negative testing? So the positive
Positive
test. Yeah, go ahead.
positive testing is to get um
Yes.
the valid oh,
Inputs. Yeah. Yes. Correct.
input, yeah. The
Yeah.
valid input, and then negative testing is to get invalid input.
Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. Good. So, see, generally, while we are doing the testing, right? So we need to do the both things like positive testing and negative testing. Okay. So, what is meaning of positive testing? The positive testing means what? See, now this is what login screen, right? In this login screen, I need to give that values like what? Valid username, valid password. Then only I can log in the application, right? This is what we need to test in the real time also, right? But if I want to see suppose the end user is given invalid data, suppose the end user is given what? Invalid data. Now I'm giving what? Invalid ABC. Now here also I'm giving ABC. Okay, it should not allow. Okay, because both are invalid, right? The username is invalid and password is also invalid, right? It should not allow. In case it is allowing, means it is a bug. See, now I'm trying with what? Negative data, like invalid data. Okay, so invalid data means it should not allow to log in into the application. So while you are doing the testing, you need to check both things, like positive testing and negative testing. See, it should not allowing me into the application because I given what? Invalid username, invalid password. So in this case, it should not allow to me to log in the application. So is it clear, right? So these all are very, very important, guys. While you are doing the testing, you need to check. So no one will tell you do the positive testing, do the negative testing. So no one will tell you, okay. As a tester, you need to test the both things like positive testing and negative testing. Okay.
Okay.
Now today's session is very, very important, guys. What are the types of testing? So this is one of the most important one. Okay, the basic one. So before we go into that, we already discussed, right, what is testing. Let's see. Yeah. So testing means what? To ensure. To ensure means what? To make sure. To make sure that whether the application is working as per the given requirements or not. I told you, right? They will provide the requirements. Based on the requirements, we need to test the application. Okay, we need to test that application. And one more thing you need to remember, guys. Software testing is a process of verification. It is a what is we can call it as what? Software testing is a process of verification whether the project will be acceptable to the end user or not. The finally who need to accept your application? End user, guys. So you need to test like the application end user need to accept, means because if the client is not accepted, if end users is not accepted your application, means it is failed. So you always test like an end user point of view, how end user wants, how end user what end user expecting in that software. So you need to think like an end user perspective. So the finally who need to accept your application? End user. Understanding, right? So this is one of the most important one. The software testing is a process of verification whether the project will be acceptable to end user or not. Suppose the end user is rejected, means what will happen? If end user will rejected, means no one will use that software, right? So you always think like end user, how this application is useful for to the end user or not, you need to think. Okay, while you are doing the testing also, you need to keep on mind that how end user will use this application. You need to think that point also. Okay, and there are two types of testing. So this is one of the most important one. One is what? Structural testing. Another is what? Functional testing. So what is meaning of structural testing and what is the functional testing? Okay, structural testing is done, we can call it as what? Structural testing also we can call it as what? White box testing. See, there are two types, white box and black box. So black box testing we can call it as what? Functional testing. Now who will do this thing, who will do the testing, like who will do the white box testing and who will do the black box testing, we'll see. Anybody have idea who will do the white box testing? Anyone know? Okay, I will explain you. Okay, don't worry. So far we know what is testing. Now we are telling the testing are two types. One is what? Structural testing, another is what? Functional testing. The structural testing we can call it as what? White box testing. So who will do the white box testing? Let's see who will do the white box testing. We'll see. The testing is based on knowledge of internal logic of application code. If you know the code, okay, if you know the code, so what kind of testing you will do? White box testing. So generally, who knows the coding? Can anyone tell me who knows the code? Developer or tester? Who knows the code? So generally,
Developers.
yeah, developer, right? So what we can easily say that white box testing is done by developers.
Developers.
Yeah, simple. No need to worry about in this. So simply you can say that white box testing is done by the developer. Now, why developer need to test? We already there, right? QA team is already there, right? Then why the development team need to test? Can anyone tell me why? Is it required? Why developer need to test that application?
But make sure it's okay on the right track.
Absolutely excellent. Yes, to make sure it is in the right track or not. Hey, correct. Absolutely correct. Because see, I'm writing some code, right? I need to check before I need to send to the QA, right? What I'm writing the code as a developer, I'm implementing the code. Or what I'm writing the code, I cannot directly send to anybody, right? Before I'm sending to anyone, I need to check whether my code is working properly or not. So that's the reason the white box done by the developer. So simply you can say that the testing is based on knowledge of internal logic of application code. If you know the code, so what kind of testing you will do? You will do the white box testing. The internal software code working should be known for this type of testing. If you know the code, if you know the logic, then what kind of testing we can do? We can do the white box testing. So we know, right, who knows the code, who knows the logic. So generally, this logic and code knows by the developer only. So you can simply say that white box testing is done by the developer. Simply, no
Okay.
need to you no need to ask anyone. Simply, white box testing is done by the developer. Why we can call it is a white box? Because I'm able to see the code. See, the developer can able to see the code. So that's the reason they call it as it's what? White box. White box means in the white box, if you write anything, we can able to see that code, right? So that's the reason they call it as it's a white box. Okay, so or as they call it as a structural testing. Okay, so generally they call it as a white box. Okay, see, the test based on the coverage of code statement, branches, path and condition. Developer is always to test this all the things, whether the code statement is working correctly or not, branches is correctly working or not, path is working correctly or not, conditions are working correctly or not, if condition, all the things. Okay, don't worry, we never involve that. So always unit testing. Generally, we can call it as what? White box testing. We can call it as what? Unit testing. So whenever the development is done, right, then the developer will do what kind of testing? Unit level testing. So once the unit level testing is done, then they will, so unit level or a component testing. Okay, unit and or component testing or belongings to what? White box testing. So this is one of the most important interview question, guys. What is structural testing or what is white box testing, or they will ask you what is unit level testing. So unit level testing is always done by the developer because they know the internal logic of the code, and before they sending to the QA, at least one time they need to check whether my code is working properly or not. So that's the reason that we can call it as it's a white box testing. There are many names: glass box, transparent box, open box, clear box. So the people are call it as like many box. I'm calling as it's a white box. Some people they call it as what transparent box. Some people call it as what open box. Some people are call it as what clear box. So but all are belongings to what white box testing only. So there are many names. Okay, don't confuse here. Okay, white box also known as clear box. Clear box means what? I'm able to see the code. Open box, I'm able to see the code. Glass box, I'm able to see the code. Transparent box, transparent box means I'm able to see the code. So there are many names will be there. Okay, so white, you need to only remember one point: the white box testing is done by the developer. At least before they sending to the QA, at least they need to check whether my code is working properly or not. Okay, is it clear? Anybody have any question here? So this is one of the most important one, guys.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, good. So the developer is also do some testing techniques like see control flow testing, data flow testing, branch testing, path testing, and the statement coverage and decision coverage. Don't worry, we are never involved here. Okay, the developer take care of all this part. Okay, so control flow, data flow, branch testing, path testing, and statement coverage and decision coverage. So these all are taken care by whom? Your developer. Okay, so structural testing is also called as what? White box testing. Now, one of the most important one, guys, what is this? Black box testing. See, this who will do? Anyone have an idea? Who will do the black box testing? The black box
Tester.
testing tester. Yes, correct. The testing team will do what? Black box testing. Why they call it as it's a black box? See, we are not see any code. See, if you observe that, we can test any kind of application. I can test any kind of application. I can test Java related application. I can test the .NET related application. I can test Python related application. See, I'm never see the code. Understanding, right? We never got the chance to see the code also. Okay, so that's the reason they will call it as what? It's a black box testing. Then how you will test, guys? Can anyone tell me how you will test? We don't know the code. Then how you will test? In what basis you are testing? Anybody
We
have idea?
can, yes, we can test it manually by writing test cases.
Yeah, the test cases and all the things. But here we don't know any code, right? Any code and anything is nothing. Here it's a what? It's a completely black box. Then how you will test? In what base you are able to test that application?
You want to
Based on,
test the functionality
yes,
to make
based
sure
on
that
requirements. So this is what they will provide, right? I told you, right? So they will provide you what? Requirements. Based on the requirements and based on the functionality, we need to test because we never see the code. So that's the reason we can test any kind of application. You just ask me to test Amazon application, I'm ready to test. And if you ask me to test the Flipkart application, we are ready to test because we never see the code. Yesterday, someone asked, right, do you know the programming knowledge? No, not required. Then how you will test that application? See, the test based on what? Requirements. They will provide the requirements. What is the requirement? They will tell you how we need to test. Okay. Now you say that, right, test cases and all the things. In case they provide the test cases, based on that also we can test. But we never see the code. So that's the reason they call it as it's a black box testing. What we can call it as what? It's a black box testing. So this is one of the most important, guys. So the black box testing is done by whom? The testing team. So black box testing is always done by whom? Testing team. Is it clear? This is one of the most important one. So
yes.
yeah, internal system design is not considered in this type of testing. Okay, here we are not bothered about what code is written. But how you will test that application? How you are test that application? The tests are based on requirements and functionality. So they will provide the requirements, and they will based on that requirements. We need to test that application. Understanding, right? We need to test that application. Okay. See, I will show you one best example how we will test. We not see the code, right? But how you are able to see the how you are able to test that application. Okay. So we generally they provide what documents. Okay, they will provide what requirement documents. Okay. So based on that, we need to test that application. Okay, and based on that, we need to test that application. See, they will FRS. Okay, they will provide what document requirement documents. Okay. Hmm. Now we need to test that application. How we need to test that application? So they will provide you what requirement specification document, right? So this document they will provide you. Okay. So based on requirements and functionality, let's see. See. Now, now they will provide this one was what document, right? See, simply they will give you what requirements. See, this is what requirement. So you need to understand this is for requirements. See, this is what on the project. In the project, login page will be there, right? In this login page, the fields is like what user ID and password will be there. So what you need to test, you need to log in into the application. You just enter the URL and you need to check the login page. In the login page, what fields will be there? User ID and password will be there. Suppose if you log in with valid user ID, admin valid user ID password, click on the login button means what page should come? It should come admin home page. It should come what? Admin home page. So you are able to see what? Admin home page. If you are logging with the branch manager, what page should come? It should come branch manager home page should be displayed. So like that, they will provide you what requirements. They will provide you what requirements. If you log in with agent, what page should come? Agent home page should come. So see here, we are not depending on the code. So we are depending on what requirements. This is what.
Requirement.
Yes, yes, correct. This is what if you this is one of the most important one. We are depending on what requirements. They will provide the requirements. As a tester, I don't know what code is written in the back end. What is the as a tester, I just log in with what user ID and password, and I need to click the login button. Then it will take us me directly what an admin home page, right? So that is one of the most important one. You need to check whether you are see that is what the testing what we discussed, right? The testing what we discussed, make sure the application is working as per the given requirements or not. So I'm testing as per the requirement. My application is working correctly or not. I'm testing with that. See, I log in with the admin user ID password. Click on the login button. If I click the login button, what page should come? Admin home page should come. See, I'm getting admin home page or not. I need to
Can I
check.
ask a quick question, please?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this document that we're looking at right now, is that the document that the developers will send to you as the tester? And these are the requirements that would be within that document that you need to check
Yes, we need to
and that
check,
you
right?
need to test?
Yeah, yes, yes, we need to check. The developer is also write the code based on the documents only. We have it's a good question. Like we have a design documents will be there. So based on the design documents, the developer and they implemented the code. Once it is done, then once the development is done, right, then they will move to the QA. Now, as a QA, we don't know the code and we never see the code. Then how you will test this one based on the requirements? So in the requirements, it's very clearly mentioned that login with valid username, valid password. Click on the login button means you can able to see what admin home page. So this is the way you need to test that. Is it clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, so I told you, right, that black box testing, see, the black box testing is always depends on what the requirement and what is the functionality. What is the functionality? If both are valid only, both are valid username, valid password, then only it should log in. Otherwise, it should not work, right? So, login functionality we need to test. So, black box testing done by the QA, we never see any code. How we will test? The test is always based on what requirements and functionality. These two are very very important. We need to test on what requirements. Requirements. Requirements based on the requirements and based on the functionality we need to test that application. Other than unit testing means I told you, right, unit testing is done by developer. Other than unit testing, remaining types belongings to what? Black box testing only. So in real time we are the black box testers, we are the functional testers. Okay, we will do we will do what functionality, we need to check the functionality and we need to check whether the application is working as per the given requirements and functionality. Okay, is it clear? Anybody have any questions? It's very very important. The testing are two types: structural and functional. The structural testing is done by the developer and functional testing is done by the QA. Okay, anybody have any questions here?
No.
Is it okay? Good. So we will do what? Black box testing on. Okay. So here, see the black box testing techniques, we follow some techniques, okay, while you are doing the testing: equivalency, partition, boundary value analysis, cause effect graphing. So we will discuss later when the project will comes, we will discuss all the things. But I want to give you one example, one of the most important one, boundary value analysis. So suppose the requirement is what, you know, right, what is requirement? So now what is your requirement? Requirement is what? There is a text box. The text box you need to fill 5 to 500. Okay, you need to enter all the values. Okay, so how you will test this one? Can anybody have any idea how you will test this one? You will go with 5, 6, 7 like that, or you have any idea how you will test this one? You need to test 5 to 500 numbers. How you will test this one?
First, we give a valid number which is present between 5 to 500, for example, 401 or 499.
Hmm.
After that, we give invalid data, which may be the lowest possible is 4 and
Hmm.
highest possible is 501.
Absolutely good. Excellent. Good. Okay, good. So see,
Can
this
you
is what.
please repeat what she said? I couldn't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, I will tell you. Don't worry. She's telling that take the lowest value of the file and take the greater than value of 500. Okay, like invalid number. So see, invalid number is what, you know, right? What is the invalid number? See, valid number means what? 5 to 500. In between only you need to provide, right? That is all or what valid number. Suppose if you give the invalid number, suppose you are giving 4, it's a valid number or invalid number? 4 is what? Valid or invalid?
Invalid, sir.
Yeah, invalid. So it should not allow. So you need to check that one. How to check with this one? So simply you can take minimum value is what? What is the minimum value here in the requirement? 5.
5.
Yeah, 5. What is the maximum value here? Maximum value is what?
500.
500.
500.
Yeah, 500. So you can do simply one technique. Okay. minimum value minus 1. Okay, minimum value minus 1, you can do the simple one. So what you can do, minimum value minus 1. Okay, so 5 minus 1 is what? Okay, 5 minus 1 is what? 4. Your value is what? 4. All right, so you just enter the 4. It should not allow. In case it is allowing means what? It is a bug, right? And also you can take the maximum value is what? Maximum value plus 1. Okay, you need to take plus 1. Okay, if you're taking plus 1 means 5 not 1. Okay, it should not allow. In case it is allowing means what? It is the bug. So you need not test all the values 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you cannot test all the values, right? It will take a lot of time. So what you can do, you can use BVA. What is called BVA? Boundary value analysis. Take the minimum value, take the maximum value. Minimum value minus 1. Okay, less than 1. Okay, you can take minimum value. 5 minus 1 is what? 4. 4 is invalid, right? It should not allow. In case it is allowing means what? It is a bug. Similar way, you can take the 500. Okay, greater than value you can take plus 1. Okay, 5 not 1, it should not allow, because if it is allowing means what? That is a bug. Understanding, right? So this is the way you need to test that application. Okay, because there are large numbers will be there. You cannot test 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like that. You cannot test that one. So you need to take what? A minimum value, and you need to take what? Maximum value. Minimum value minus 1 and maximum value plus 1. So it should not allow. Okay, 4 is allowing means that is a bug. 5 not 1 is allowing means that is a bug. And also you need to test in between. You can take any number, it should work. Suppose you can take 400, it should work, because in between. Okay, you can take 9, it should be work. Randomly you can test that one. So this is the way we need to test boundary value analysis. So where we can use this one? This is one of the most important one where we can use. Now in the document, see, this is one of the most important one. Let's see how we will work. Now the branch name is there, right? The branch name is there. The branch name, the field is accepted is what? How many characters you need to enter in the branch name? 4 to 15 alpha numerical values only. 4 to 15, right? So what here you can use what? BVA. How you will use the BVA? So you can simply do one thing, like 4 minus 1. How many? 3. If you enter the 3 characters, it should not allow. If you enter the 3 characters, that is what? Invalid data. Understand? If you enter the 15 plus 1, 16 characters, suppose you are entering the 16 characters, it should not allow. If it is allowing means what? That is the bug. So in the fields like the branch name, branch code, there are a lot of fields while you are testing the application, right? They will give you some requirements. Okay, what is the requirement here? 4 to 15 alpha numerical value only. Means what are the you are giving the input, right? That input should be, the rate should be what? 4 to 15 only. But if you are giving 3 characters, that is invalid. If you are giving more than 16 characters, more than 15 characters, that is invalid. So in this case, what technique we are using? BVA. What is called BVA? BVA is nothing but what? Boundary value analysis. Is it clear now? Is it clear? So simple, guys. Again, I want to tell you. See now, simple example. Phone number. Phone number is how many digits? In India, 10 digits, right? Phone number is what? A 10-digit number. Now I want to check the BVA. BVA means what? Boundary value analysis. So I told you, right? 10 minus 1. Okay, you need to test like 10 minus 1. Like how much? 9. Right? 9 digits. Yeah, 9. So it should not allow, right? This is the word. This should not allow. 9 digit is not allowed. And what I'm doing, one more test case. I'm doing what? 10 plus 1. 10 plus 1. How much? It's 11, right? Like 11. So it should not allow, right? So always while you are doing the testing, we need to check the BVA. BVA is nothing but what? A boundary value analysis. The previous example what we took, we need to test 5 to 500 numbers. Okay, suppose we need to test this thing, this thing. So we cannot add all the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It will take a lot of time. So how I need to test this one? Simple way. So what I can do is I can take the minimum value. So minimum value is what? 5. Okay, and
Fine.
also yeah, 5. And maximum value is what? Maximum value is what? 500. So
500.
yeah, 500. So what I can do is how I need to test this one. Minimum value minus 1. Okay, I'm giving minus 1. It should be 4. The 4, it's a invalid. It should not allow. So here I'm taking what? Plus 1. So if I take plus 1 means what will happen? 501. So in the 501, it should not allow. So this is working as expected. It is not allowing 4 and it is not allowing 501 means my code is working fine, my application is also working fine. But in case the 4 is allowing and 501 is also allowing means that is a bug. No need to ask whether it is bug or not because it is allowing invalid also. Understanding, right? So this we can call it as what? BVA. BVA is nothing but what? Boundary value analysis. BVA. Understanding, right? So this is the way you need to test the application. So here location. Location is what? You need to enter your location. But application is what? It is allow what? 3 to 15 characters only. So 3 minus 1, 2 characters should not allow. 15 plus 1, 16 characters should not allow. So you need to test while you are doing the testing. You need to check all the things. Okay, whether it is allowing the within the range or not, you need to check. Okay, so this kind of testing we can call it as what? Boundary value analysis. This technique, this is what one technique we are using to test that field. Understanding, right? Is it clear? Okay, good. See, what is the difference between the black box testing and white box testing? If you observe that white box testing is done by the developer, right? He knows his logic. See, he knows his logic. He knows his output. He knows the code. He knows the code because he can able to see the code and all the things. Okay, he knows his logic. He knows his input and he knows his output also. So the developer is always depends on its logic and the application code. The always depends on. When you're talking about testing team, like we are QA. See, we are giving the input, we are getting some output, right? How can you say this output is correct or right? How can you say? Can anyone tell me? You are giving input and you are getting some output, right? This output is correct or not? How can you say? You are getting a lot of questions, right? Whether it is correct or right, or whether it is wrong, or whether it is right. How can you say this output is right? Can anyone tell me how can you guess this output is correct or
If
not?
the
Based
I
on the
think I
HR's
think if the
document.
out oh I'm
Hmm.
sorry. I
Sorry,
think
comment.
if the output matches the
Hmm.
no if the input matches the output.
Yeah, input we will giving, right? But you will get some output. This output is correct or not? How can you if you know the code you can tell that, right? The input will matches with the output. But you are giving input, you will get some output, right? This output is correct or not? How can you say? How can you guess